Today's guest gave one of my favorite musical theater performances ever as a star of Chaplin. Thankfully, last week he was nominated for his very first Tony Award. Please welcome Mr. Rob McClure.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great.
Thank God you were nominated.
Oh
I would have been outraged. I would have been leading through the streets of Times Square.
It was so crazy. This week has been crazy.
Okay, wait, first of all, you were at one point with Robert McClure. Now,
Yeah,
you're more casual Rob now.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. It was funny. I was Robert McClure forever, and then that is my name. And then all of a sudden I realized that everyone called me Rob.
Right.
Everyone called me Rob,
Except for the people that call you Big Mac.
Which is true. How did you know that?
I do my research, but yeah, Big Mac at one point.
Did you really? I can't believe you knew that.
Yeah, I went to high school with you, and I called you Big Mac. You just don't remember me.
I was like 4'10" and 80 pounds until like my junior year of high school. So everyone called me Big Mac.
That'd be a
freaking
good
me
stage
out.
name. That would have been a good stage name.
Big Mac McClure.
Big Mac nominated for a Tony.
Oh
Look
God!
at that.
Who knew?
Hey, Stu was nominated for a Tony.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Big Mac could have been nominated for a Tony.
That's right.
That would have worked.
That's right.
So yeah, you're having a good
Crazy week.
So it's weird. You do this show in the fall.
Yeah.
I adored it.
Thanks.
It closed by the end of the year.
Yeah, January 6th. So.
Okay. And just made it into this year.
Yeah, exactly.
a week into this year.
Yeah.
And then you sit around, and do you sit around and think, is anyone going to remember this? Am I going to get nominated? What's happening? The nominations are coming out. I mean, you can't like psych yourself out too much, right?
I couldn't think about it too much. I luckily had a lot of friends and family who were thinking about it and would let me know they were thinking about it all the time. But I was like, I'm not thinking about it. Like, I would be ecstatic, of course, just because of the work that we all did on it. You know,
Yeah.
There was a lot of love in that show, and it was a long chunk of my life. A lot of people, you know, were saying like, how does it feel it was so short-lived? It's like, I played Charlie Chaplin for almost 3 years.
Right.
It was not short-lived for me.
Right.
Of course, I would love to have shared that with more people.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a complete journey, you know,
Right.
and the work that those people did, having seen its progression from pre-La Jolla
Right.
to La Jolla Playhouse
Right.
to Broadway, just having seen the amount of love and the amount of nurturing and the kinship between that group of people, it's important. It's important, and it was an important chapter in my life. So for it to culminate in this is like so surreal.
You shared it with me 3 times. I saw the show 3 times, and I saw the final performance, which was incredible.
Oh.
I mean, you got to love a good final performance.
The adrenaline in the room.
And I took a friend of mine who's not really a regular Broadway theater goer. She's more of a film person.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Wait, I don't understand. This show's brilliant. I don't understand. Where's it going? What do you mean it's closing?"
We had so many people. We still have people who say like, "I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why some things stay open and some things close. I don't understand."
It makes me wonder if Chaplin wasn't aggressive enough for today's Broadway. You know what I mean? It was kind of like just a beautifully put together and beautifully directed and choreographed. Warren Carlyle,
oh my God,
who I think
Warren.
is a genius.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a throwback in that way, but you really felt something, and it really just. But you know, it wasn't loud and hitting you over the head with anything.
And it's also not an adaptation. It was an original musical, which this year struggled. Original musicals struggled this year. There's a lot of adaptations.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard. It's hard to. What I think the show had, and that I, like as we said, could have shared with more people, is that a lot of people came to the show expecting to laugh, as you do when you put on a Chaplin movie.
Right.
And you do.
Right.
But then 3/4 of the way through, you're getting your ass kicked, and you don't know when you've cared so much, and you're crying, and you remember it long after it's over, I'm very lucky to feel like there were a lot of people who had that experience and who carry that with them and who share that with me all the time. People who have seen it have been very vocal about letting me and the rest of the team know just how much it meant to them, and that's rare that they go out of their way to let you know. You know?
You did a lot of like promotional videos for the show that had you dressed as Charlie Chaplin walking around the street. You actually did this when you did it in La Jolla too. There were videos of you. So you used to you got into full Chaplin drag and would just hit the streets. What is that like?
Yeah, it was.
Did they just think you were one of those Times Square guys? Like.
Yeah. What's actually funny about that is that they put me in the outfit and then they just sort of go like, "Go, and we're gonna film you for 3 hours and we'll edit it down." So you have no idea what you're gonna do. But what's amazing is how much that character is still known and loved. I walked out the door, and from every direction you could hear, "Charlie! Charlie! Charlie!" People, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is because I researched the hell out of him.
Yeah.
But but it blows my mind that people are still so drawn to that character.
The physicality that you nailed was stunning,
Oh,
and
thanks.
I should actually let's get this down. Let's see. You've been nominated for a Tony Award, Outer Critics Circle Award, Broadway.com Audience Choice Award, a Theatre World Award you won, and a Stare Award for a dancing award.
I know, a dancing award. I'm not formally trained in dance at all.
But
I've
what
always,
you did with your body in that show was, I mean, it was pretty amazing to watch. Have you done the walk since the show closed? Do you do it like in your personal life for fun? Do you do it for your wife?
No, it's not like the ballerinas that are permanently turned out walking down. No. Although people ask for it all the time. People say, "Come on, do the walk.
It's
Come
your
on,
thing
do the
now.
walk."
It's your trick. It's your party trick.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird
What
one.
a lame party trick.
No, it's kind of weird.
Walk. Hey, walk. Okay.
The other thing that was cool about the show was the video, the video
Yeah,
work
John
in the
Driscoll's
show.
projections are so great.
Because you really got to like recreate Charlie Chaplin movies.
Yeah.
Do you have all those like on a DVD?
Not yet. I want them.
You got to get those. Those are awesome.
Yeah, we that was a nerve-wracking day because it was the first time that all of the bits in the show are Chaplin inspired, but
Right.
most of them are not lifted because we knew if people do know them, as good as I could ever get,
Right.
you don't want to see me try and do them like frame for frame.
Right.
It's just not going to work. So Warren brilliantly came up with bits that were of the world and felt like Chaplin bits, but were not lifted. But for like the bread roll dance, which is videoed, which was one of John Driscoll's videos, they recreated that set like complete,
Amazing.
like down to the tablecloth, like the little gifts on the plates, and then John Driscoll recreated the cabin from the original film and put it behind. So we filmed that, and I remember watching it and thinking, I know this shot. Like I know
I was there,
but
I
that's
wasn't
my
there.
face. Like
Yeah.
that's my face in that shot that I know.
Wow.
And that was the first time that I knew that I was recreating something.
Yeah.
And then it was like going to be, if someone wanted to, they could pull it up and pull that up and go. And so that was the first time where I felt the pressure of getting everything right.
Do you think you would ever play the role again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it'll ever leave me. It's been so infused into who I am and what I do now that I would always love to revisit it. There was a group of 13 of us in the show.
The tattoo. I heard about
who
this.
got little
cool.
hat and mustache tattoos, because it really did leave an impression in here. That the whole thing, Chaplin's aesthetic, what he stood for as a filmmaker and a storyteller, and then you combine that with Warren Carlyle and Chris Curtis and Tom Meehan and Brian Perry and those guys, and that experience is not a come and go. In a business that will be, hopefully, a whole lot of new experiences. The next one comes, and the next one comes. Part of what's thrilling about what we do.
Yep.
It's going to end, and you're going to do another one. But some of them stay with you, and this one, my God, how can it not? Just in how it's changed my life alone.
You live in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you commuted throughout Chaplin?
It depends. Chaplin kicked my butt too much, so I got a
Yeah.
studio here, and then I would go home when I could. But like matinee days and press were kind of crazy. But when I did Avenue Q for a long time, and I commuted every day.
How is the house coming? Is the house done?
It's good. No,
You're renovating a house?
nowhere near done. Yeah, renovating a house with my wife. We love that. Like that is
What's the project du jour?
tiling the second floor bathroom.
Okay, what
I'm
color?
so
What color are
excited.
the tiles?
We have glass tiles and ceramic tile, and we've got a slate floor. And I built the vanity with my high school woodshop teacher, who was
Oh
one
my
of the
God.
groomsmen at my wedding. We're getting way tangent now.
Wow.
But yes, but yeah, for my wife's birthday, I built the bathroom vanity so we can finally finish this friggin' bathroom. But yeah, that's next.
So that's
And,
fun. That's been sort of a fun.
Yeah, it's like we love learning, and like we've renovated a house, like sheetrock and all from YouTube. You just watch it and then you do it. And I remember we had the experience where we were like, we got an estimate for like sheetrocking the house, and it was like $10,000. And you're like, okay. Then you go to Home Depot and you buy the material that you need, and you're like, I would have to put this up and tear it down 10 times to ever spend $10,000. If I get it right on the second time,
Right.
Save a lot of money.
What was your biggest, okay, but what was your biggest thing where you ended up regretting and you just got way in too deep? What was the hardest project?
Plumbing is a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Plumbing is a nightmare. When you're like shoving bread in a pipe so that it's dry enough for you to like solder the edge. It's a nightmare.
So now your wife, Maggie,
Yeah.
is also an actress.
Yep.
How do you say her last name?
Lakis.
Lakis, Maggie
Yeah.
Lakis. You were Duty and Frenchie
Yes.
together, right? You
Yes,
did
I
Grease.
can't believe you know all this.
Is that the first time you met her?
Yeah, we were doing, we did Grease at the Lenape Regional Performing Arts Center, which I don't even know if it exists anymore, in Marlton, New Jersey.
And Duty hooked up with Frenchie,
And
or
Duty-
you just were friends?
We were just friends. Well, yeah, we were friends, and then the show closed, and we kept in touch with everybody else.
Okay.
And then everyone else stopped keeping in touch, and we kept keeping in touch. And I had. It was such Jersey. Like I lived
You're
in
a Jersey
Jersey.
boy,
I'm
yeah.
a Jersey boy. I had a 1990 white T-top Camaro.
Awesome.
And like doing
Wow.
Grease in Jersey. It was like, we had our first kiss in a
How
diner
was your-
parking lot.
how
Like
was
it
your hair
oh
back
my,
then? Was your-
my hair was so long. Like these
Oh, you had, like, one of those
crazy
big
curls.
bushy, like-
Yeah, it was
Oh, that's
so,
awesome.
so bad. So bad. Oh my God. Yeah.
But she dug it.
But I guess she dug it. I guess she dug it. I had learned those 4 chords for magic changes, and
Right.
I guess that was enough.
Then you ended up in Avenue Q
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
On
So
the-
I did
on the-
Avenue Q on Broadway, and then they offered me the tour, and she had just done a puppet thing in Philly, and she said, "Well, that's gonna suck. You going out on tour. Do you think they need anybody?" I said, "I have no idea." And without knowing that we were together, she went in and booked it.
Wow.
So we toured together for 2 years, which was
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, and it's a great marriage test because it was the 2 of us, 5 suitcases, and her 2 cats. If we were going to break up, that's when you're going to break up. When you are in airport security with 5 bags and 2 cats, that's when it's not going to work out. So it was a great test.
And she was Kate Monster?
She was the second hander, the Bad
Okay,
Idea Bear,
okay.
Mrs. Thistle track, and she covered Kate.
So when she covered, you got to have puppet sex on stage.
Oh yeah, that was the best. We had puppet sex the night we got engaged.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah, you like proposed, you had puppet sex, and then you proposed on stage.
There was a week where she knew she was going on for Kate Monster in Philly.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, okay, hometown.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So we invited 85 of our friends and family to the show. They came, saw the show, then they all went to an engagement party that she didn't know about. She was downstairs getting ready, and she's a huge E.T. fan, like obsessed with E.T., like left Reese's Pieces throughout her house as a kid, hoping that he would come find her. She used to like throw a softball in her barn in the backyard in South Jersey, hoping that he would throw it back out. Just obsessed. She cannot watch that movie. It's her favorite movie that she can't watch because she becomes a sobbing mess. So she went downstairs. She was getting changed, and I left a Reese's Pieces trail
Oh, my
from her
God.
dressing room to the stage, and her little childhood E.T. doll that doesn't have an original stitch on it. It's like this little turd of a thing. It's amazing. And it was sitting in the middle of the stage with the ring box.
Oh,
and she
my
walked out on stage,
God.
and our sound designer hit the John Williams da na 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 na. She lost her mind.
Wow.
And then we went to the engagement party. So
You
that was
clearly were the man for her.
that's-
I mean, like,
exactly. This is the nerdiest thing.
Well,
we are nerds, like full
Total
out,
nerds?
like full out Lost,
yeah.
Battlestar Galactica. We are. It's bad. Erin Mackey, though, who played Una,
Yeah.
also a nerd, and her husband Stanton. So we are. It's a good.
Total nerds.
We go to Comic-Con together. It's good.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Full
You
nerds.
have like action figures and
Oh, yeah.
Like you have all that stuff?
I've got the John Locke action figure. You push the button and he yells, "Don't tell me what I can't do." It's real.
So, but you had the engagement party. You clearly knew she was going to say yes. You had a party.
hoped.
You planned a party.
that
What if
would've
she had?
sucked. That
What if
would've-
she had just kind of like?
Oh.
Oh, it's kind of getting.
That
it's
would have
getting old.
sucked so bad. Oh my God! I just would have walked into the party and been like, "Eat everything and go, please." It was a lot of money.
So it's all working out. So you've been married for how long?
Yeah, 3 years.
Awesome.
Before in August.
Did you two honeymoon in Vegas?
No.
Where
See
did
what
you
did
honeymoon?
there?
Where'd
See
you
what he did
honeymoon?
there?
It's a segue.
See what he did? We actually couldn't take a honeymoon for like
Oh.
3 years because we were working. And then
Have you taken one yet?
We finally
Oh, thank
did.
God.
We were working down at the Flat Rock Playhouse right before Chaplin found out that it was officially had a theater, and there was like 3 weeks between Flat Rock and the pre-production for Chaplin when they were like, "You have to take tightrope lessons and violin lessons and roller skating lessons." But there's 3 weeks before that happens, and we found out Chaplin got a theater, and I was like, "We are going to Hawaii next week."
Because they filmed Lost there.
Because That is
I know why you-
true. That is a true sentence.
I have to admit.
We got an 8-hour Hummer Lost Tour.
I
of
know all about
Oahu.
that Hummer Lost tour because when I went to Hawaii, it was all about seeing all the lost locations.
That's why we picked Oahu.
So you went to that beach where
We
they filmed the
went
pilot and on the
everywhere.
North Shore.
Yes. Yep. I have bottles of sand from that beach in my house. Yep. Yes.
That's awesome.
True. We went to the church where they shot the finale. We did the
Wow.
whole.
Wow.
It's bad.
Wow. I haven't been back since the show ended, so I need to go back and see the
Oh,
church where they
God.
shot the finale.
It's so good.
You're a total nerd. I love it.
I am. Yep.
I love it. So Honeymoon in Vegas
Yes.
is your next project.
Yeah, I'm
which
so excited.
I'm really excited too because there's a Jason Robert Brown musical.
Yeah.
And we love Jason Robert Brown.
Yeah. This score is so fun.
I heard him sing a few of the songs.
Oh my God,
and
it's
they're
so fun.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
hilarious. You have some great material.
Yeah.
So you're Nicolas Cage
Who?
from the
I
movie.
did not think you would ever say that sentence to me. So, yes, I'm playing the Nicolas Cage part. Wow.
Are you a nerd about any Nicolas Cage movies? He's been in some weird. Not really. There's no like
No. He. I'm trying to think.
What was that weird one where he was like the superhero, off with flames on the
Oh,
motorcycle?
Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah.
Now, if there's a musical adaptation of Ghost Rider, no. I'm
Clearly,
kidding.
that
no.
you're gonna get called in for all of these.
No. No.
But-
But yes,
so-
it's the Nicolas Cage role.
Yeah.
And who played opposite James Caan in the movie, who is Tony Danza in
Yes.
the musical, and he. We are full on bromance already.
Really?
Me and Tony Danza. Yes, he is the funniest, sweetest. He's got the best outlook on life ever. He like within 10 minutes of meeting him, he was like, you know what I started doing? I did I got my iPhone thought of the day, and I thought if I'm gonna sign up for that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what it tells me to do. And then I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah. So I got one that said, play the ukulele every day for the next 30 days and you'll play for the rest of your life. So now I play ukulele. And he's not kidding. He's amazing. He like learned proficiently. Like now he can really play.
Have you done your Tony Danza voice to Tony Danza yet?
No, I don't even know if it's good, but I
It's
grew up
pretty
in
good.
Jersey.
I think it's
so-
pretty funny. You're the boss. That's pretty good.
But he is like, he like enters the room every day like a 17-year-old non-equity kid. Like he's just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And that is so refreshing. It's so refreshing to see somebody who's like been around as long as he has and achieved as much as he has, be so genuinely excited about being there and about the work, and he's kind and he's enthusiastic and he's also the real deal, man. Like he's a hoofer. He can tap. He can like.
Hoofer, not hooker.
He's not a hooker.
Who's a hoofer?
He's a hoofer. Yes. He's not a hooker.
And you play Jack Singer.
Yeah, Jack.
Tell me about this. Who's this?
He's
guy?
he's like super neurotic. He had a
He doesn't treat his girlfriend well, right?
Yeah, he has a curse placed on him, or so he thinks, that his mother on her deathbed said, you can never get married because no girl will ever love you as much as me. So don't get married or I will climb out of the grave and kill her.
Nice.
So I'm very neurotic about getting married. But I found the one, and we escaped to Vegas to try and quickly get married behind the ghost of my dead mother's curse. And Tony Danza spots my fiance, and she looks exactly like his dead ex-wife.
Right.
So now he's smitten, and is going to do whatever he can to steal her away from me.
So you're battling Tony Danza.
So me and Tony Danza.
And look at you. You get another nice, juicy male lead in a brand new musical.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
pretty awesome.
That's thrilling to me. It's thrilling to me to be able to originate something. I mean, this was, if you had talked to me 2 years ago,
Right.
The idea of this would seem absurd. The idea that I'd be sitting here talking to you about a Tony nomination and doing a new role in a Jason Robert Brown musical would be absurd.
And having a bromance with Tony Danza.
Come on!
The guy in the Camaro would have not believed
No, it's absolutely true. Well,
that. And to make it more emotional, the show is premiering at Papermill in September,
Yeah.
and then hopefully coming to Broadway.
Yeah.
And you're like a total Papermill nerd. Like
Yeah.
you won their Rising Star Award
Yeah.
when you were in high school.
I owe them a lot.
Apparently you've like swept the floors there, mopped the stage. I
100%
don't know. You've done it
true.
all at Papermill.
Yeah, I was. They their Rising Star Award program is what made me realize that there was a profession in this. Up until then, it was like extracurricular. Like, okay, I'm going to do the bowling team in the winter, and then I'm going to do the play in the spring because it'll be more on my college resume.
And you were golfing.
I was golfing. Yeah,
Right.
my God, you're
It's
amazing.
not that hard. You just have to Google. It's not that deep.
Amazing.
But thank you.
Where do you Google, does he like golf? I didn't know that. So their Rising Star program is like their Jersey High School Tony Awards, and they send like 4 judges to every high school musical in the state, and then they have an award ceremony. So I got nominated, strangely enough, for Where's Charlie, which I ended up doing at Encores.
Right.
So they invite me to the Papermill Playhouse, which I had never been to. I had never been to a like professional theater.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and it's like this 1,200 seat real theater with people in tuxedos and like celebrity presenters. And I didn't know where the hell I was or what had happened. And I won. And that got me a scholarship to their summer conservatory. And then I got my first professional job in their chorus of Carousel.
I saw you.
You did?
I saw that production.
Oh my God.
I remember your brilliant ensemble work during June is Busting Out All
My
Over.
Enoch Snow Jr.
How was your June is Busting Out All Over?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that they cut me from the very beginning of June is Busting Out All Over. Why? Because they needed a non-equity kid to ride in a wagon up into the flies to drop the petals on them at the end of If I Loved You.
Oh.
You know, the
you
cherry
did that?
blossoms just coming down by the sails. So I was up in the flies dropping the cherry blossoms.
I remember the petals.
And how could you forget? But they couldn't get me down in time for my entrance. The June is Busting Out All Over, so they cut my entrance. So I had to I was the random sailor who walked in during the middle of Look at Them Clams. I got caught in the boat, and I was like untangling the net. No, it was just a little bit later than everyone. But so then they offered me. They were doing a production of I'm Not Rappaport at the Papermill.
And it got you to Broadway.
That was crazy.
Papermill basically kind of owns you.
I was working at the Papermill box office at the time, trying to make money on the side. And they said, well, would you like to understudy in Rappaport? I said, sure, but I can't give up my Papermill paycheck at the box office because non-equity making $200 a week. Do you mind if I give you my phone extension in the box office, and if you need me to go on, just call me in the box office, I'll put my costume on, and I'll come back and do it. And they did. They let me double dip in that way. And then 2 weeks into that run, blessed Roy Miller, who just passed. He randomly was like, the show's going to Broadway and we're bringing everyone, including the kid from the box office. Here's your equity card.
Wow.
And the next thing I knew, I was in a dressing room on Schubert Alley in a Broadway, playing a bad guy in a straight play opposite Judd Hirsch and Ben Vereen. If I thought I was going to get to Broadway, that was not. I thought it was going to be, how to apply for a job. That's what I thought I was going to do. So it was wild. The way things happen, so crazy.
So Tony night's coming up. What are you going to wear? You excited? Is your wife excited? What's she going to wear? What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's that weird thing.
You going to stay in the city that night?
Yeah, suddenly I've got to care about all these things I've never cared before like that. You have to really think about those things now. So all of a sudden I was making calls like, can someone dress me for this? I don't know how to do this. So I'll figure out what I'm going to wear. I'm sure it's going to be something with a tie. It's the Tonys. But it's crazy. It's sort of strangely bittersweet because Chaplin didn't get much love.
I know. I was angry. I'm angry.
Yeah, but it very quickly turned for me. It was bittersweet and it was hard for the first couple of hours as I was realizing and then I sort of felt like I guess I'm going to carry the torch. I will be I will represent all of that. And Lord knows that all of my work in that show was shaped by everyone else. Everything I was doing that anyone thought was special was given to me by Chris Curtis, Brian Perry, Warren Carlyle. Those people infused their work into what I was doing. So by the idea that this is only I am being recognized is absurd. I was surrounded by all these other people who were shaping my every move. So I'm happy to sort of be the person to be the advocate for all of that work. You know. So I'm choosing to celebrate the nomination with that spirit because they deserve it. They really do.
Well, I can't wait to see you on TV. They're going to, Rob McClure, and there you're going to be.
Oh my God, I'm going to do that weird I don't know what to do.
Right, that awkward moment.
That awkward thing. Hi, Mom. Or whatever. I'll figure out what that's going to be.
Just be in the moment. Just be in the moment.
Yeah, that's it. And the people who don't know whether to clap for themselves, so they do
Right. You can practice. You still have a few weeks.
I don't know what to do. I got to work that. Got to work that moment.
Okay, so everyone watch Rob on the Tony Awards June 9th on
my-
CBS. And
my
then
God.
Honeymoon in Vegas starts in September, right?
That's a Papermill,
Playoffs
yeah.
in Millburn, New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey boy over here.
Yeah.
And you don't drive a Camaro anymore.
No.
What's the car now?
Oh, God.
Boring.
Kia Spectra. Doesn't get much more boring than that. I need another Camaro.
That's not cool.
If I win, I'll get another Camaro.
There you go. And grow your hair out. Thank you so much, Rob.
My pleasure.
Great to
Thanks
see
so
you.
much. So fun.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.